Welcome back. I'm Danny the Dinosaur Drawer, and today I'm going to show you how to draw a T-Rex skeleton from the side. So yeah, let's begin. I'll begin roughing in an outline for us, marking in where the tail and head will hopefully both end with my new mechanical pencil. That ought to do it. Those two lines will show us where the head is going to be and tail. So for the head, I'm just going to put in a box. It's going to have the jaw closed, the mouth closed. That's about right. The tail may not fit on the page, but that's okay because it's not that important. Even though this is a skeleton, I'm still going to put a rough outline for it, so I don't get the proportions off. It's going to be a hip bone right there. And I'll have the tail curve around, like so, because it's quite long. So that looks very good. Now I'm going to see where the belly is going to be. Legs. One leg is going to be lifted off the ground because our T-Rex is going to be in a running stance. So yeah, now let's begin refining the head a bit. Let's zoom up so you guys get a better view. So there's about 4 main chambers in the T-Rex's skull. First is the nose, then this chamber here in the middle, the eye chamber, and the ear chamber, which goes back there. So I'm just going to begin refining the shape. Putting in, there's a ridge over the eye. We should put in like that. Then the skull makes a downward slope. So that's about the right shape of the skull of a T-Rex. The upper part, at least. So now that we've done that, I'm going to refine the eye hole. Put in a line like that, then you'll take your pencil, move a line down there, and move it in there. And there's also a little tiny hole about there. So the skull of T-Rex is full of holes to make it light so it wouldn't like tip forward because of the weight. And you can put in the delicate nose there. And I also put these cracks into the skeleton to make it look more realistic. So the ear hole has a funny shape to it. Put that in. Again, I'm going to add cracks. And now you can take the back of your pencil, which usually has an eraser, and erase the lines you don't need. To get a clean effect. And now if you want, you can shade in the holes to make our drawing look a little bit more pristine. Looking very cool so far. I know skeletons are usually more challenging than the dinosaurs with the skin on. So a YouTube video is helpful when you need to learn how to draw a skeleton. So it took me a very long while to get good at them, and even now I don't think I'm that equipped to draw that well. So now we can put in the teeth. Don't make them too big because our skeleton is not going to be that big. That looks pretty good. Now we can put in the bottom jaw. It curves up there, then it's actually longer than the top one. Comes back and meets it there. Maybe it's a little wider. Maybe I've made it too thin. I apologize for my mistake. Looks more like that. It's got a cavity, small hole in the bottom jaw there also to make it less heavy. So that's pretty good for our skull, and may add a few jagged lines there just to make it look a little more fearsome. So there, we're officially completed with our skull. That may have taken a while, but it's worth it. So now let's move on to the vertebrae, which will be a little bit more time consuming, but probably not as hard. So for the middle of the vertebrae, I just make these S shapes, just like if you're making block S's, and then overlap them. Make them go around. And join the torso there. And for each of those S's, make a vertebrae piece, or the, I don't know what those knobs coming out of each vertebrae would be called. Then there's the quills or spine things that come from each vertebrae as well, or each segment. Like so. You can add a little bit of shading there to each S. So today I officially completed my pre-production before pressing the button boot camp from YouTube. I got a certificate for completing the test. I got it here. I don't know if you guys can see that. I completed it today. It wasn't that hard, but if you're a YouTuber, I highly recommend taking it and learn some new tips and tricks. You just go to the YouTube Creator Academy. So yeah, that was fun, and learned a few new things that I hadn't learned before on how to grow your YouTube channel and stuff like that. It's really quite helpful. So there, that looks pretty good for the neck. Now the back vertebrae has an arch to it, and it's thicker than the neck. So instead of putting the vertebrae in first, I'm going to put the shoulder blade in first. So you put a line like that. Goes up there, almost to the very top of the spinal cord. I'm just gonna give it a bit of rendering there. And now this is where it's got a few plates across its chest. Maybe for protection or something, I don't know. And here's where its arm will join. There's the arm, and I'll put it on the forearm. Maybe a little off our outline, but that's okay. It's 2 segments of bone for the forearm. Put the claws in there. Looks like a very good claw or arm. I'm not going to put in the other one because it's on the other side. And now we will put in our ribs. So they start quite little, then get larger, and larger. The biggest ones, this is probably the biggest one, it's right in the middle. Then they get smaller quite quickly. There's a few scrunched up little ones there. And then there's also the belly ribs, which you almost never see in museums that are on display on their T-Rexes. For some reason, I don't know why. Maybe because they're harder to mount, but that's just a speculation of mine. Before we put in the belly ribs, I'm going to put each segment of the vertebrae on the back. The spinal cord, I guess. The backbone of our T-Rex. Even though the ribs get smaller, the vertebrae do not. If anything, they get larger as they get near the hip. I'm gonna take your eraser and erase those lines. Put the final touches to our vertebrae. Put a little bit of refining in. You can even shade under the ribs just to bring them out more. Little tricks like that help bring out certain bones and exclude others. Like so. Now I'm going to put the belly ribs in, which connect from the shoulder blade to some of the ribs there. Again, erase the extra lines that we don't need. This T-Rex is going very nice so far. Now I'm going to put the hip bone, which is second to the head, I think. One of the biggest parts of the T-Rex. One of the biggest bones, at least. We can add shape to it there. The leg will attach right about here. And the rest of the hip bone will attach right there. So the leg will be covering part of it. I'll bring the leg back actually. I'm going to use this big eraser because it's faster, just to clean up. But this little one works fine for the smaller stuff. Put some shading there. Add some shape to the hip bone. And now I will put in the part that goes down and attaches to the belly ribs. Now we can put in the thigh piece. Which is also a very massive bone. Put it in like that. Add as much texture as you would like. Now I will add the other thigh bone, which will be lifted up. So now we'll put that here, and I will shade all of this thigh piece because it's on the other side of the ribs. So take your pencil, make slashing motions. Finish that bone up there. Give it a bit of an edge. This looks very cool. Now I think it's time to put in this calf bone, which is going to be bending back, which also, like the forearm, is made of 2 pieces. We'll put that in there. And now I can put the ankle in. The ankle is quite long. Now I'm going to put in the dew claw. And now I'm going to put every segment of the foot. So put that toe claw in the middle toe toe is much thicker and longer. Now we've added detail to that. I'm going to put in the ground underneath the foot, like so. And now we can do the same for this leg. Add in the other bone, which is going to be bending in the air. Like so, and I'm going to erase these earlier outline lines. So when the ankle comes here, lift it up, I'll put the dew claw in, which was virtually useless for T-Rex. From the first toe, which is only 2 segments, the second toe has 4. The middle toe, I guess you call it. And then this one on the outer side has 4 as well. So the inner claw was the shortest of all. Put a slight amount of shading, not that much, on this foot. So yeah, now all we need to do is put in the tail, and we will be finished with this very impressive T-Rex. And there's also this other part of the hip that I've neglected to put in. You may also shade here. And for the tail, all you have to do is, I usually put in the segments first, and then I add the rest of the pieces. So make a tube, then add the segments. Try to make them equal in size, and they get slightly smaller as they approach the end of the tail. I don't think the tail's that long, as I had first put it in, and you can transfer the vertebrae to the very end, on which it just ends like that. And now all we have to put is the knobby pieces that go up from each vertebrae. Remember to try and keep it even so it doesn't look wobbly or weird. A lot of times I've messed up in the tail. And by the end, the top pieces have faded. I'm going to add a little bit of texture to the vertebrae pieces. It always gives it a better look. And now we can, the first few segments don't have the bottom spiny pieces until about two segments out. These look a little sloppy. I'm going to redo them. They go under the tail. At the very end, they're almost like hair. It's very tiny. So yeah, this is our Tyrannosaurus Rex skeleton. I hope you guys have come the entire way. Now you'll get to sign your picture, show it to your friends. So yeah, please share this video, leave a like, subscribe if you've not already done so. And I have another video on how to draw a skeleton of a dinosaur, which was on Spinosaurus, that you can check out on my channel, that I think you guys might also enjoy. So yeah, thank you to all T-Rex lovers and to all artists. And again, thanks for watching.